Yo, 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 saw that new transition, but welcome, guys, to the New Wave Invitationals. This is week 8 with day number 1. 1 out of 1, actually. Gonna be only day for today that we are gonna have the NWI. And joining me tonight from the stat sheet to the casting table, it's gonna be Mr. Rebirth.
What's up? Hello, guys. I'm really glad to be here and kind of nervous at the same time.
Oh my god, Rebirth is here and I'm just happy to have him. I've been goading him to do this for quite a while already, and well, at least we are gonna be here and now ready to go in just a bit. So sorry about the delay, seems like technical issues on every person's side, for Overwine, for Cakes, and even on the OBS end, but I hope we should be, we should be a-okay in this regard. Anyway guys, seems like the server is stable on my end, and right now Overwine as well as Cakes are both just getting their rosters filled real quick to see how everything is gonna unfold for this first game. So in the meantime though, we need a control map from Overmine. But speaking of Overmine as well as Cakes, we are gonna be seeing these potential rosters to be that starting 6. So here we go, ladies and gents. Overwine gonna be running Blackrock, Guinness, Keltral, Dominici, Kundak, and Lavariel for the starting 6. Wotash and TG Panda on the bench. In the meantime, for Cakes, it's Red Rose, Stereo, Blackbeard, Roxadlon, the Alexid, and X Fatal is supposed to be that starting 6. Oily Beer gonna be on the bench, and Shiver, their ban. So it's really interesting. Cakes actually getting a ban thanks to the weight-based ban system, as they are on the high plat range within the 500 mark that we usually use as a basis for these bans in the first place. And that's gonna be one goodbye to a DPS, and it's Roxalon. They're moving over to that line instead. Red Rose and Stereo gonna be looking to work together. First time we've seen that pairing. Tack there for Red Rose yet again. Alex C gonna be X Fatal is gonna be looking to play that support line. And what do you think, Rebirth, of this starting 6 here for both of these teams?
Well, for cakes, we can see a little change in the roster. Like it's not the standard roster since the ban. However, in Overwine, you always see this starting 6 in most of their matches. So with that, I think having that solid 6 with the same roles will most likely improve their team synergy in the long run.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised with that. It really is just all about looking to. Oh my God, Mika, what the hell is she just typing in the chat? She's
Oh
really
no!
whipping out the titaness in her. But yeah, speaking of, Overwine, the wine and dine all together, always ready to go. And this is the roster that is looking to get better and better together. So it's very, very commendable that they stick by their roots and stick by who they have. But look at those standings that truly stick on to the New Wave Invitationals. And well, a lot of things to prove for both of these teams. Cakes right now kinda in behind, a little behind in terms of all those matches, only with 4 matches played, but sitting at a 1-3 standing, I believe. In the meantime, for Team Overwind, well, they are gonna be on that 0-5 all the way down below, trying to see who can make it up and make it a little higher in the first place, and look to get better and better into the setup as soon as possible. It's gonna be really interesting to see how everything is gonna unfold for the next 2 weeks of New Wave Invitationals, because these are gonna be the last 2 weeks of the regular season. And we're not gonna be saying goodbye, that's for sure. We're gonna have a few announcements here and there of what to do after the fact, especially the playoffs and the like. We'll see how everything is going to be. Oh my God! Oh, sorry about
No.
that, guys. I had to get the big cat because there are kittens now, and it's kind of scary.
Wow!
Not gonna lie, it's kind of scary. So we gotta keep them safe and keep them sound. Sorry about that. Oh my God! Oh my God! You got Rebirth. Do you have any pets at home?
Yes, I have a dog who will never stop barking with a high pitched voice, which irritates our ears, but we still love.
Yeah. I have lots of dogs. I have lots of cats, and I just need to make sure that they don't kill each other. I'm hoping everything is fine. So I'm kind of scared, honestly. I'm kind of scared right now. But sorry about that, guys. But you know what? I might be also scared of is the upcoming DPS lines here and now for these two teams. Because here we go with the stats between Overwine and Kicks. And let's look at the DP last line to start things off. Dominici and Keltrol gonna be on to those two rolls, 5.877 and 5.1 respectively on the average damage. For the underside, Blackbeard all the way at 8k with average damage. Rox and Londe sitting pretty with a 5.3 as well from the main tank. But what do you think right now? Who has the edge in the damage department, Mr. Rebirth?
Well, since I'm the one who made this, but in my opinion, I would say that Cakes would have the upper hand. But we can also take out the factor that Overwine also has been really trying new things over the past weeks, and same with Cakes. Actually, they've been screaming nonstop. But just on stats alone, I think Cakes will do much better.
It's true. It's true. I can really see, especially for Blackbeard, he's shown to play that Echo. He's kind of above and beyond the spears, and we've talked about Overrun and the DPS line. They're just basically looking to get better and better every single game. And even though teamwork is what makes the dream work, sometimes you do need that mechanical skill edge. And honestly, for Team Overwine, we saw in their matchup against Uber Server that there were times that kind of fell flat on their face. So we'll see if it's gonna be enough. Anyway, though, guys, we are just waiting for Team Overwine to get ready, and I'm just gonna make sure nothing in my house dies real quick. So we will take a short little break. We'll be right back here for the New Wave Invitational. Stay tuned, stick around. This is week number 8. Slow start today, but we'll have 2 great matches for you guys to tune into and enjoy some Overwatch action here from the Philippine scene. It's gonna be a great time. It's gonna be a wonderful moment. And this cat is very angry about Kitten showing up in this house. So I'm gonna make sure that he can get his calmest non-existent tits. And we will be right back, ladies and gents. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and as we are waiting again for still Team Overwine to get ready to go, Mr. Rebirth, you have been the talk of the town lately in the new Invitationals. Not only the amazing statsman that you are, but also, well, you have been coaching many multiple teams right now as basically as what do you call this, as a consultant in a way. So, what's your story? What do you have any insider information about these two teams coming into this game?
Well, I have actually been mostly with Overwine, like how they play mostly. Like I've been coaching them seriously more compared to Cakes, since I'm just spectating Cakes and meme card scrim usually. But anyways, the story for Overwine is basically I'm just so inspired by how dedicated they are to actually want to win at least one full map or like one full match.
Ah, that's
Because
true.
yeah, because that because that feeling where like you're in the lowest tier, or like when you think that you are the weakest among all teams, who still has that fighting spirit, it feels like damn, you can work with it. So that's why I decided to put extra effort onto them. As for Cakes, I've actually seen that they're trying to experiment with some new things, some new compositions with their scrim against Beam Card. I can also see their dedication to improve. Mm, but other than that, I think both of them are really, they both have fighting spirit still to at least get better.
That's true, that's true. And hopefully everything can actually work out here for Team Overwine because we can't be here all day waiting on for all of them, so we might have to step in a little later on. But Game Team Cakes is happy about all downtime right now. They're like, what roster are we running, guys? Who's playing what? Who's playing what? It seems like they're playing musical chairs. It's kind of funny. So, honestly, Mr. Rebirth seems like your stats gonna get messed up in a way, the ones you sent over. But for Team Cakes,
Yes.
what do you think? How about this current configuration now? What's gonna be going on here?
You mean like what they might play?
Yeah.
Okay, Roxin. I think they might be a Junkrat. That's for sure. Because
Because
oily
you got
beard.
oily. That's it. That's the only reason why you're gonna play that Junkrat. And well, if you don't really, if you can't play Shiver, who's more of your flexible pick, then at least get a specialist who might be able to dominate and just basically is mechanical skill. It's like, hi, I'm just gonna throw grenades at you, and it's gonna be a pretty easy time, potentially for oily to do a lot. It seems like though for Team Cakes, they are gonna be looking to play a Lucia playstyle perhaps because Retro is gonna be on that support and Stereo and Roxy gonna be working together into the front line. And when you play Stereo over Red Rose, it does mean that you might be looking to play something a little more flexible. What do you think? What's gonna be going on?
I think the composition that they might run is usually a Ryan Zarya. Like I've always seen them play the Ryan Zarya, and Blackbeard. He's actually an exceptional hit scan actually. So that will also be a threat that Overmind has to take care of.
Yeah, he plays the hit scan, he plays the echo, and it's really interesting to see how flexible they can be. And it's really interesting, and that's I'm very impressed with how Cakes does have all that flexibility in the world. Okay, it seems like though both of our teams are ready to go. And what is their initial six again? Black Roxy. Why you gotta do this to me? So it's Red Rose and Stereo gonna be looking to play the front line. We also have Blackbeard and Roxy, and Oilybeard and X Fatalist gonna be good to go here and now. So there you go. Black Raccoon, Skeletal, Dominici, Nalvariel, and Kundak to round things off on the blue hand side. And well, it seems like since things are coming our way, let's announce our first map, which is going to be Oasis. So Rebirth, what do you think? What's this map pick all about for Team Overwine?
Okay, we didn't really. Well, I didn't really make them practice Oasis that much, to be honest, since I wanted them to work on the maps that they really excel at. However, when you dwell into a map, you always or actually you learn some principles that gets to be transferred to other maps. So it's all just basically how well you are able to adapt to the map.
It's true. It's true. It's like on Oasis. It if you don't know how to play into the map, sometimes it's very very difficult, especially on City Center and Gardens. Those two maps having all the different elevations that can really mess you up. And well, for University, it's a little different from those other two maps when it's more on that CQC. So really knowing how to adjust is such a big component of getting success on Oasis. But with Oasis itself, it does have those open sightlines. It does have a lot of things going on for the map itself. And it seems like we are ready to go finally into our first game. Team from
That was so
Overwine.
long.
That took so long. It took so long. But, you know, sometimes good things come to those who wait. And we'll see if we are going to get the wine and dine that we are looking for, or will it be a sweet ending here for Team Cakes? Let's get it on. Let's get it done. Let's get into another match.
So our first map is gonna be Garden, which is really good actually for both teams.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, seems like we're using the old scoreboard again. I'll adjust that next map. Huh, let's just all try to adjust that now. Guys, you just do it on stream. Pet things. Where is that? I have. Look at this. How much things I have. How many things I have. I can't even find it. I'll look for it later on. Anyway, though, we are gonna be getting into the game. We'll update the stats scoreboard to its latest update very very soon. Mr. Caldan has done so much actually for the thing. It was really funny. So I fixed it up before this game started, Mr. Rebirth, and apparently it didn't save. The preset didn't save. So yeah, big sad. It was kind of sad.
Big,
Not gonna lie.
yes, that's a big Pepe sad.
It's a big Pepe sad, but hey, that's what it's all about. Seems like though there's gonna be a lot of ping issues on both sides, but that's what Philippine internet is all about. So here we go. We start things off on Gardens, and we'll see how everything is gonna be unfolding into this one. Ryan Diva actually for Team Overwine, so they are gonna be looking to contest a little bit of that high ground with the Diva. Double hit scan though between Keltral and Dominici, and it is something you do like to run in the first place.
You also have to take note that Cakes is running a double off tank actually. Zarya and a Sigma. It's gonna be quite difficult, especially since the shield is gonna be limited.
So we'll see though if Dominici and Kendrill can really take advantage of the lack of shields. With the Zarya and the Sigma, they are going to have a very strong ground game, but at the same time, if they do take the high ground here for Overwine, they are going to be able to dominate into the action. That's what Overwine is exactly doing. They go to the high ground, they take care of business, and Dominici getting frags here and there. The Lavarian with a very quick wall lessons as well, really coming to a T. And the first capture here for Team Overwine, this is looking like to be a completely new machine from the blue hand side.
Kudos for Dominici to actually land those shots in the first place. Even if with Olexid having the res, they were still able to capitalize on that res, and the Para still got picked.
And, look at these guys. The guys in the chat saying I was sleepy during the thing. I was picking up a lot of things, okay, guys. There was a lot of issues before this game started, so my eyes were kind of like concentrated. But you know what's concentrated though? It's Stereo with the flux. He just gets a big slam onto two. Here comes Guinness still getting back into the mech. It's gonna be a little ambitious right now for Team Overwatch to try and contest it. Seems like they're gonna give it up, and this will be the red hand side taking the point back.
I think since Kethra had Bob, I think Bob would have been really made good impact if it was placed in the correct place there.
Yeah, throw that Bob down can really just sustain. And the Ash has really been a mainstay of the meta right now. Very good against the dive composition. All the buffs it has to really enable the hero to maximize that damage. And well, it's just a good middle ground here and there. Roxalondo with the Rocket Barrage right here right now, making it rain. 2 for 2 trades so far. But for Team Overwine, they're playing that double hit scan and they're able to shut down the Flyers in a way. But trying to get through the choke in one fell swoop is just not the way to go about this. You know, in double sniper versus Reaper, you play that crossfire. I think in double hit scan, it's the same kind of situation.
Yes, it is. That's why when they took the high ground initially, they were able to get the picks onto the Pharah and well, mostly the Pharah. But the fact that they're using the low ground, it's going to be quite difficult since you're going to be playing in that choke, giving you limited visibility onto the Pharah.
Anyway, though, here comes the Biotic Guard being bounced around. It seems like it's going to be a hookup push here from Team Overwine. Playing it slow and steady, but again, they are going to go to the low ground instead. Whereas Caltro, Dominici gets a huge Deadeye. He gets 3. Easy targets, honestly. That is just a gimme. There is no way that Team Cakes can shut down the Deadeye with the composition that they're running. And well, this is not Team Overwine going for the push. They will go with the Shadow from BlackRock as well, and they will get the point back. All I want to say, Reaper, is against the Flyer, the Deadeye is actually going to secure your kills.
Yeah. And the fact that one, there's no one contesting high ground under the Para, Echo, and Mercy. There's no shields up there, so they can't do anything with the Deadeye up there.
ridiculous. And seems like there's a big siren on your side. But hey, stay safe as the Rebirth. This contact round, pocketing Keltrol as much as possible. Who do you think's the better pocket target right now? Since they're running the Mercy Mora, one can go for the top up, one can go for the pocket. But who will get more damage done, the Ashe or the McCree? What's going to be the play here? But before we answer that question, it's there right now with the Flux backfield, turning it to Reinhardt. And Team Cakes, they are just going to be playing a 3-tank composition by this point in time. But Guinness with the bomb connecting, taking care of Alexei as well as the duplicate. Blackbeard just flying on the round, but Team Overwine right now staying on the right-hand side. And Red Rose, though, keeping things up yet again. There we go with the bubble placed in position. Blackrock right now will go down in one fall swoop. Cakes, though, will get the D-Mech onto the Diva. And can Guinness survive? No, not gonna happen. The sticky bombs do get the damage done. But for Keltrol, good flank right here, right now. Really understanding that he has to go for a different angle. There we go with the double stun from Dominici. But it's not gonna lead to a frag. And for Overwine, it seems like they are just gonna be stalling for time into this one to force around 96% before they give the point back.
To answer your question a while ago, it would be different in Overwine because Kethrol actually is used to not having a pocket already, like as you see in the previous games. But you can see that Kundak has been alternating between the two hit scans. So it will be kind of messy to which gets a damage boost, but I think it works for the.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It really is going to be a little bit of that independent nature, but Red Rose right now going to be pretty dependent on the Gravitas search for the setup. Rock rush up from Roxalon, they're going to make it rain, and the Diva going to get in the face, and here comes Dominici though. Free kill as we've said. We'll get the Mercy. I like how Blackbeard play onto the inside right now as soon as he heard the Cowboy step on in with those boots clanging, but Dominici on this high ground really looking so far so good. Stare right now with the kinetic grass. Little Viral turning into the Lucia, try and get back in position, but Dominici now will fall in the field of battle. Keltrol trying to survive. Where is the tank line? A little too far off. Can Blackrock make it to the point? Goes for the fire strike. That small little animation almost costing him the contest, but he's still surviving for the time being. Staring right now with the flux one more time. Nanik was gonna be into play, forces a C9 there, and Team Cakes very close, almost losing out, but they will take that point 196.
That's a really close game indeed. I think what Overwine could have done better there is the tank should go in at the same time with the DPS. There was like a desync in pushing where the tanks would go in first and they would not go in together.
Sometimes you just need that coordination. It's going to be very, very important in so many ways to actually get things done. And well, for Team Overwine, they are going to still run that Rhine and the Diva. Now, Rhine Diva was the mainstay of the meta, but honestly, it has been outclassed in a way by a number of compositions, especially the dive and the double shield. But hey, if you do play that Reinhardt really, really well, and you need that utility to play against the Flyer, then why not? It can't go wrong with a tried and tested comp, even if the meta has changed to a little bit. And that's something I really want to discuss, Rebirth. I'm very interested to see why no teams really run the meta comp here in New Wave Invitationals. I've seen some dive, sure, but it really is more about comp picks, right, in a setup like this.
I think the other teams don't run the meta since they are not fully aware of the meta in the first place.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
that's true.
Yeah. So
But
like
there
I've
you go.
been actually helping Overwine with some of the compositions, so this is what I suggested for them, and
It's working out.
it
It's
actually
working out right now. Like, let me just interrupt you because they are just getting frags. Look at this high ground again for Overwine, and this map is perfect for them. Because Gardens a while ago, they had the right idea, go to the second floor. This time, it's a little different, and by that I mean they now have a bounce pad to work with, and they get even on higher ground. And with Blackbeard playing the Tracer instead of the Echo, well, they're not gonna be. They're sure they're not gonna play that double flyer, but Tracer isn't really the best way to contest everything because she has very, very horizontal movement. It's hard to go on the vertical side. In terms of map, Overwine really understanding how to play Oasis. Here comes the coalescence though. Roxy London though does get to pick up onto Dominici. That's pretty big to take care of McCree like that. And with Roxy having free reign right now, because Keltrol doesn't have the sight lines of the Pharah, well, it will be a little difficult right now for Overwine to stay on this objective. Blackbeard sipping on over to the north side. Conduct right now trying to get on away. This is the Mercy getting pelleted with bullets. And Team Cakes gets the point on back.
unfortunate that Dominici gets picked first because he's maybe the only counter since he was in the high ground. I think Kethrol is in the low ground, so it's gonna be difficult for him to get the Pharah.
That's true, that's true. And hey, you also, we'll see though if Team Overwine can actually get even more of a push right here, right now. It's BlackRock though, playing the Reinhardt again, and we have seen him really bring in for the Horde and look to see a little bit of that impunity, look to see, go for that punish. But in this instance, as Roxy Londa zipping on around one more time. The Pharah, of course, a Rocketeer in her nature, but Dominici actually taking care of one immediately. Kundak in the meantime with the Valkyrie in hand. Here comes the Rocket Barrage though, courtesy of the Pharah, and Kundak whipping out that pistol to try and get that kill. Keldra though whips up the Big Bad Bob. Let's see if though it is going to be enough. Stereo again with the Flux, and this is going to be pretty effective to really shut down BlackRock along the way. But will it be the saving grace for them? Not going to happen. Keldra instead on the high ground, Dominici down below, and Team Overwine with guns blazing, doing a lot of work. I gotta say for Cakes, they're running the Sigma Zarya and they're winning through sheer force of will because that's what this comp is all about. But honestly, I would love to see them play maybe the Orisa for that double shield just to basically protect the team.
I think, yeah, you're right. However, I think what they are planning is that since the DPS are not really in one area, they don't think that they need an Orisa since there will not be many people in the back.
Yeah, that's true. There's isn't to be the setup, you know, that double shield, or maybe honestly the Ryan Sigma if you really need to play it. But Zarya Sigma is just all about getting the bully. We have seen Ryan Sigma in the meta actually as an interesting substitute for for basically protecting the double flyer. But Guinness does get the kill onto one. Blackbeard right now with the pin on the Stereo. But Roxy Yolanda, if you cannot stop this Pharah, she will just get kill after kill. But for Overwine, luckily for them, they still have the point. They are getting the progress that they need. But we have seen this story before, Mr. Rebirth. It's gonna be Roxy right now enabling his push alongside Red Rose, and Guinness right now getting torn apart. Seems like it's the same kind of case. Overwine gonna be giving it up on the high 90s, and will it be the same old story yet again?
Hopefully not, because I think Overwine should realize by now that they really have to contest the Pharah versus Roxy, because he's the one really just putting heavy damage. Look at the damage done already. 9,365.
Yeah,
Really,
that's ridiculous.
really good.
Well, and that's not even just trash kills, it's 12 kills and 10 assists, so 22 eliminations overall from the Pharah, really enabling the team. That's over half of the kills there for Team Cakes already, so they are going to be looking to really utilize this flyer as much as possible. But as we've said before, Overwine has the tools that they need to go for it. But the Rocket Rush here from Roxy Londa dashing on in. Kundak goes for the sleep right, a little too late to save everyone, but at least Guinness is able to take everyone along the way. BlackRock right now needs to survive, very dangerous to walk in without the rest of the crew. Team Overwine right now needs to play discipline. Dominici moving over to the Tracer, but that's a good teammate there from Red Rose to shut down the Diva immediately. Someone has to go for the touch. Who will it be? Can they trust either the Lucio or the Tracer to go for it? But Blackbeard already taking care of the baby Diva. Here comes Overtime taking on the way. Stereo action with the Flux taking care of two. And another clutch situation here from the Sigma will allow Team Cakes to get this point again. Overwine competing, but it's still not enough to get to the finish line. Team Cakes will get the first map win.
Quite unfortunate that Overwine wasn't able to capitalize on the weakness, but the mere fact that they're actually playing two off tanks in the first place, you can see that they were all separated in targets, and if they have the control, if they have the proper target focus, everything would have done really much better.
Yeah, this is gonna be Stereo though, going for frags after frags, and well, Team Cakes will be able to get that first victory on the board. Kudos to Team Cakes. They needed this one. You know, they've been a little bit of a slump here and now in the New Wave Invitationals, and yeah, congratulations to them getting this first map a good start here in this match. So what do you think, Mr. Rebirth? What can we say about that whole game overall? Overwine having the tools, but again, we talked about basically mechanical skill. Since they're basically the lowest ranked team in the New Wave Invitationals, it's, you know, SR is just a number, but it still has a factor, right? You can't deny that.
Yeah, it still is a factor. Actually, kudos still to Cakes
Yeah,
by
kudos,
actually
honestly.
making that two off tank work.
Well,
They just gave a lot of space to the Pharah.
you know, like, all I gotta say about the double off tank play CD with the Zarya Sigma, if you know you can beat your opponent through sheer force of will, it's a really strong comp. Because Zarya Sigma is a comp
Damage
that
heavy.
that just is very damage heavy. You get the big beam, you get some rocks, you get the flux, you get the gravity. You know, you mess with gravity basically, Rebirth, and gravity kills, as the Zarya usually says, right? And you know, that's how it is sometimes. It's a little too much to handle, and it wasn't really the tank line per se. It was really good efforts from Red Rose and Stereo, not gonna lie. But I honestly say the fact that for Team Overwine, they had the double hit scan but couldn't still deal with Roxy in time meant that that was just their Achilles heel. They need to shut down the Pharah. They already have the guns to do so, but if they're not able to do so, it'll hurt them in the long run, you know? It hurts them in the long run there.
Yeah, definitely.
No, I just want to say, Mr. Rebirth, before you get on your point, that, you know, Farah and Echo are actually some of the priority picks here in the new Invitationals, and you need to have someone who can shoot heads to actually, you know, shut that down if you don't have your own Farah player.
That's true, but I think that you can shut down a Faro Echo with just your own Echo, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
It
That's
is
true.
tricky. It is tricky. It can work, though. It will.
It is kind of tricky. But speaking of tricky, we have seen the tricks of the trade here from the tank line, and let's look at those stats real quick. From oh yeah, Mr. Rebirth is here. I was about to call you, but then you're right here, Rebirth. So for Team Overwine, Blackrock and Guinness gonna be that starting two, and we have seen that it's usually Guinness getting more of that damage and eliminations on that regard. Blackrock a little more stable on the Reinhardt at 12.51 and 5.739 average damage per 10, and Guinness in the meantime 70.5 average eliminations and 6.741 average damage to begin with. On the other hand, though, Red Rose and Stereo, they're not usually those high damage dealing players, but apparently they have gone in for surprise, and they're on Oasis with the Zarya Sigma that should be shooting up those numbers with 12.98 and 4.2 average damage for Red Rose because he is usually on that support role, and then for Stereo, on the other hand, he's the more flexible off-tank with 5.183 average damage and 14.39 average eliminations. So what do you think about the tank line matchup, especially after seeing that first game? What's up with all of that?
Mm, well, for Team Cakes, you can see the flexibility of the tank and support, giving them the understanding of, let's say, what support needs or what the DPS needs to actually make them do their job well.
Mm-hmm.
And Red Rose, as you said, please support as well. So Red Rose got that knowledge already on what the supports need, so that they will not be given a hard time in the first place. So that's a good tank line right there. Even in the stats by itself, the numbers are high. I mean, you don't really care much for the elimination since you're tank. What you want to do is just to give space as much as possible. As for Team Overwine, BlackRock and Guinness, we can see that these two have been playing together ever since, well, I think after since the first few weeks, I think,
Mm-hmm.
of Overwine. So I think by now they're gonna have a good teams, a good tank synergy between those two.
Yeah, you can always expect that. You only need the basically the veteranship and the experience with playing one another, build that chemistry, and be good to go for next few games. But hey, we are gonna be getting now into map number 2. And apparently, what a surprise, guys! What a surprise! Here we go. Big reveal. You wouldn't expect this. Don't worry. It is totally unexpected. Ta-da! It's King's Row.
T does too. Let's go.
Lead us to. And hey, we have seen Team Override dominate this map. This is a map that I have practiced so much that I feel like every day when they go to sleep, they dream about this map.
No, they don't.
No, they don't? Really?
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Why? Talk to me about it, Mr. Insider Knowledge, as we are going to be getting into
Okay.
map number 2.
Okay. This is what they tell me.
Now
Why play
enter.
King's Row when you can play Numbani? Because if you master Numbani, you can play each hybrid map there.
Initiating match.
What?
That's pretty much it. That's
What?
pretty much it.
What? How does that make sense? Why is Numbani your... Huh? Why is Numbani your pedestal? I don't get it. Numbani is a map that is such snowball potential on the attack. You play dive at the first map point, and then you just basically steamroll all the way to the museum, then you get beaten back. That's what Numbani is all about. It's so different. King's Row instead, it teaches you the basics of Overwatch. You play that Ronzar, you play that CQC, all about having snipers on different sidelines, play those flyers, play the dive if you can, play the double shield. King's Row is a map where you can play anything and still succeed no matter the meta if you know how to play the game itself. So why is Numbani Numbani, the pinnacle of hybrid maps, when you can talk about King's Row instead and what lessons it does entail. But before I just get all triggered about everything that's going on, it is going to be a substitution here for Team Cakes. It's Oily Beer coming on in, and well, you are going to get that double explosive lineup between the Pharah as well as the Junkrat. Not unexpected whatsoever, but I worry for Team Cakes right now. Will this be the comp that they will stay on forever on this DPS line?
Well, Oily Beer will for sure play with Junkrat, and I think what they are trying to do for Team Cakes is to do the double explosives combos.
And we'll see though how this is gonna pan out, as here we go with a brawl already into the front line. The Pharah and the Mercy are looking to work together, and again, you know, Cakes just using the high ground advantage as much as possible. But this time though, Ryan Zarya into play here for Team Cakes. It's Redrose playing that Zarya. It's Terry gonna be onto the Reinhardts. So no Ryan Sigma shenanigans this time. They are gonna be looking to play a little more standard. The Blackrock is already moving on forward. A little sloppy up for Overwine, but they are gonna be losing a few members here and there. But Keltron dominated with the click tags already. Stereo though doing a lot of damage, but couldn't make it in time to get that shatter. And first take now taken here and now. But Roxy Londe, even with the shield in front of him, still will be able to get rid of Dominici. And here for Team Cakes, if they can play it well enough, they can actually go for it. Because S1 last time, Roxy Londe gonna drop one down already. Here comes more and more of that push. Vilvario will go down immediately. Here comes Red Rose down, coming closer and closer to the Graviton Surge. And can the ultimates actually turn the tide into this favor? Keltron though, with a frag onto one, resurrection ready from Maxine. Stereo with the charge right there, taking care of Blackrock and the shatter to just end the hopes and dreams of Overwine to getting this point by the 1 minute mark.
That was really unlucky where Stereo just charged Blackrock, and the moment that they had the impact, the bubble of Guinness given to Blackrock disappeared. That was really
Okay, so there you go guys, a little bit of that replay there onto from the chatter courtesy of Stereo. But Red Rose right now gonna have the Graviton Surge in hand. This is gonna be Team Cakes looking to hold the line still. Olivier though making a try, and Riptide now gonna be available here for the Cake Squadron. And we'll see if that big tire can actually make a difference. But for Override, they are bunching up close, and it kinda hurts them because they're playing against Junkrat. And here comes the tire, here comes the big boom. Kundak will go down, but Keltron finding out the target, but they'll still get trapped up here and now. Now this hurts Overwide because they need that Reaper to be in the front line instead of the back. The trap really slowing things down, and Dominici again, he has to hit that Pharah. It's not you know expected for him to get rid of the Pharah on his own because there is a Mercy pocket. But he needs to pressure him enough that Roxy will not feel confident to just be out in the sidelines.
That's true. There was this one push, the initial push, where the Reaper would pressure X-Fatalist actually, to the point that X-Fatalist was caught off guard. It was a good pick since they actually did get the Ana, and there will be less pocket or less heals given to the team.
But here goes the grab, so it's going to be the play. Rocket Crush now making it right against Roxy Londe. Sees the opportunity, but only gets one kill there. Never mind though, Red Rose now with the cleanup. And you know, Mr. Reaper, when you pick a Rose up, it has those thorns, and it'll just prick you. And this is just Red Rose pricking everyone. This is a 5k, I think, from the Zarya. Impressive tracking from the beam.
I think it is.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Man, those turns hurt. It hurts.
60 seconds.
Hey, you know that's how life is, guys. That's how life is. Anyway, though, Oily Beer again with the rare out of nowhere kill. You know that's happens when you play against Junkrat. You just basically shoot grenades as much as possible, and you know eventually things will happen. Big skill right there. But jokes aside, Oily Beer has a lot of Junkrat sec. It's very impressive. He's not gonna go for the trap here now because in mind gets immediately that charge. And look at him go to the high ground, but I think he makes a mistake there, dropping on down. Roxanne on the Oily Beer getting those frags on the board. Guinness in bait time, catching out the Junkrat into play. And for Team Cakes, they are still holding the line, but they have to be very, very careful because Guinness, Keltron, and Dominici are looking to get in position. Never mind though, it seems like Overwine beaten on back yet again by the battle bus on to their spawn side. And Team Cakes right now having all their members ready to go for this last defense.
Now we see Guinness actually swapping off the Zarya and now to a Hamon, trying to see if he can distract someone in the backline.
Now he goes for the contest, beautiful shatter though, courtesy of Stereo. We'll get the pin on the Blackrock. In the meantime, Deadeye gonna be there from Dominici, and we'll see if McCree can actually get enough of that tracking on the board. Roxanne Londe though, here comes the rain yet again, makes a kill onto 2, and that is just gonna be Guinness going down one last time. Team Cakes doing their homework, getting a shutdown on Team Overwine on this first point. Overwine tried to go for the execute, but it just doesn't happen this time. Cakes again with another sweet ending. You can't go wrong having those carbs, having that sugar in your system.
Switching sides.
really unfortunate though that Overwine wasn't able to see the weakness
Initiating
of
match.
playing when Team Cakes is actually playing the double explosives comp. You can see that they've been doing damage by just, you know, uh, throwing things to the people die one by one. They did not even get to push. People die. Oh no.
Do you know Rebirth, a great anime once said, "People die when they are killed." You know.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh
that's some
no.
that's some
That's
deep.
that's some tragic thing. Yeah. That's
Ready.
tragic, but the really the
Well, that's all life is. You know what is also tragic? Look at the stats right now. 35 kills to 11, 19 send 5-1 damage to 8,790. Those are big numbers.
Attackers
And
incoming
honestly,
in
Oil
30
Beer and Rocks
seconds.
in Londe. Not gonna lie, this time you can see it is really the tank line getting the cleanup with 12 and 8 kills compared to the 4 and 9. But at least they get that trash damage on to allow those kills to happen. Red Rose was on cleanup duty today. He apparently forgot that he had work to do and he could only get the custodian key, so he just pretended to be a janitor there and he cleaned up every single person in this regard. Anyway though, the blue hand side not gonna be on the attack instead, and we'll see though how this is gonna pan out right here, right now into this game. Red Rose now making a leap with this Windstone. They're gonna be on that Diva, so dive here for Cakes. Will this actually work out in their favor? I think it
actually
already
it
is.
does. Getting the first pick already.
The good pick, but Keltra will be brought back into life. Oily Beer instead with a shutdown on down from Nietzsche. And the big name there from X-Rated. That's what he's all about. That is what he has made himself famous with. And this is just going to be Oily Beer on to the point already. He will go down on the hand of Guinness, but Cakes is on points, on position, getting all these kills. And it's a very stark contrast for Cakes. They are just going to get the cleanup on. Can Overwine actually contest? They don't go for any speedsters whatsoever. And they are just going to be folding over to the map. What a victory here for Team Cakes. A complete shutdown of Overwine on their home turf.
That is a really good dive push for Team Cakes. They were able to distract the two DPS. Heck, even just
Play
kill one
of
of
the
them.
game.
Yeah.
So they took the opportunity, pushed in, dived together, executed the backline, win the game.
Win the game, and look at that. It's just Red Rose winning this game right here, right now for the team. Very impressively done. Getting so many kills with that Gavin Surge, using it for the zone. 23 kill streak with 27 eliminations. That's a score line to remember.
Epic. Someone needs to show how
Yeah,
it's
that
done.
is definite. I think I might have to update just because of that.
I might just have to update right there. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna go into halftime real quick. We're gonna discuss a few things here and there, and of course, we will have our halftime report, brought to you by Mr. Rebirth and this and his hotels, that kind of thing. Wink, wink, nudge,
bro,
nudge.
bro, bro, bro,
Monopoly
bro,
man,
bro.
he's a Monopoly man. It's like you go to Boardwalk, there you basically go. But we will be right back. Stay tuned, stick around. This is the New Wave Invitationals. So hello guys, welcome back to the New Wave Invitationals. My name is Daks and joining me tonight is Rebirth, and joining us for the halftime report is gonna be dynamic TPS duo of Team Overwine. It's gonna be Dominici and Keltrol looking to just give us some words of wisdom for this halftime report. So how you guys doing tonight?
We're doing fine. Kind of, kind of have the butterflies in our stomachs.
Yeah.
The
We the Oasis map, we it was pretty good intense holds on both sides. And then for Kings Row, we were just not expecting that their lineup on defense.
Oh yeah, just how they actually played it out. Did you guys expect less shields and more firepower from their team?
We were not
Yeah.
expecting their dive tanks, honestly.
for
Yeah,
the
it's,
defense, we weren't expecting the dive.
Oh yeah, yeah,
competition.
when they suddenly played the offense on you, this was really surprising. And that's what happens, especially if you are just on a one tick situation, 1 point situation. It was one tick, it was 1 point. You guys got all the way there, and it was really impressive though how you guys played things out, especially on that Oasis map. But I do want to ask you, how's practice really been going? We have seen you guys really improve throughout the New Wave Invitationals and really look to get better and better. So how does it feel to put in that extra work to get where you are by now?
It feels good, but we have a long way to go.
Mhm.
Right now we're screaming a lot. Hello to DC, and thank you for the
We're
scrims.
blessed. Yeah, we're blessed with the we're blessed with the constant guidance from Team DCN and Papa Reeb over here,
Papa
along
Reed.
with help from along with help from Billy and Fascinate. Thank you so much for all the help. We wouldn't be at this stage without them.
Much love to the New Wave Invitational staff, and kudos to you guys for really putting in the work. But I do want to ask just a little bit on terms of your hero picks and the like. We are seeing you guys play basically the comfort play. That hits that is where you guys can really thrive. But what do you think? Like, where can you guys really improve to get easier and better picks? What goes through your thought process when you're going for those shots, for going for that positioning, and what do you feel you want to do more proactively? Because sometimes, as we said, it's easier said than done, and well, if you guys can say it right now, it might help you, do it into these next games.
Right now we're trying to expand our hero pool. We're still working on that. Katran, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, at the moment we have um I'd say a moderate amount of hero pools, especially for our DPS players. But we are slowly and trying to branch out to more hero varieties, like say Sombra, May, Bastion, something like that.
Yeah, I love those picks. It will give you a lot more utility, and you have shown that you guys have that prowess on the hit scan here and there. Just a little more refinement and a few more Pyro picks might really help you guys out. But Mr. Rebirth also had a question for you, and what is it, Mr. Rebirth?
So, as your coach also,
Ooh.
this is my question.
Uh-oh.
For King's Row, your attack, why did you pick those heroes? McCree and Reaper, was it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we tried to we tried to do what because our last Kings Row match it worked pretty well. So we tried to replicate that one.
It almost worked, but almost doesn't get it, unfortunately.
I see. I'm not gonna say anything anymore at this point.
You gotta be impartial.
I could feel it in his voice.
You gotta be impartial, Mr. Rebirth. You're on the casting table right now. And I was
Yeah,
like, hey,
I know.
Rebirth, you stay here. No coaching, no going anywhere. You are here with me. You be a good boy. And hey, you guys have been doing a really good job regardless. Even though you're still winless in terms of that match report, you have gotten some really surprising map wins against multiple teams. And I wouldn't be surprised if you would be able to do so here. But I just want to ask you, how do you guys plan to potentially close out a series if you guys are basically in a setup like that, in a setup where you are looking to go for a match win itself? How would you guys play out that deciding map? Would you do something very different? Would you play something you're comfortable or you're something you practice, or would you do something in between? What would be the plan there?
We want to practice for something different. We want to go in with something we've practiced, of course, but we want to show something different, something surprising. We want to put on a show, basically.
Yeah, the unorthodox play, like what we a success from the previous Kings Row, we managed to pull that off. And but most of the time we usually we'd like to play what we're drilled with, because there's that high risk of untested strats failing.
That's true. It really sometimes just blows up in your face, especially if you don't know what to play and how to play it. Then it just kind of hurts in that way. But thank you guys for this interview, and of course, the floor is all yours. Anyone you want to shout out before we send you guys off for this next game?
I want to shout out to DCN. Thank you again for the 90s scrims. Fascinate. Thank you for teaching us. Billy, of course. Rebirth. Anyone you wanna thank, Kyle?
Well, everyone from DC, as we've said, like we wouldn't be here without the loving care and guidance of all of them. Like, thank you so much.
Much love to everyone who has really helped out Team Overwine, and thank you guys for all of that. We wish you luck, and we wish you to get those headshots to connect this time, as we are gonna be moving into map number 3. So yeah, we'll send you guys over back to your channels. Let me do that for you real quick. And goodbye
Bye.
to Dominici, goodbye to Caltro as well. Bye to you guys. And hey, it was very insightful there from a DPS line. What did you learn, Mr. Rebirth, from our two guys?
Still have a long way to go, but improving.
Improving. It's really important,
Yeah.
You gotta get that progress. It's so important to really notice how these teams are getting better. And Overwine is basically the shining star of that. Sure, they haven't gotten the match win, but surprising map wins are honestly their, what do you say? That's what just makes them look good. That enables them to have that potential to do better. And because of how they do execute, how they do practice, I always have to commend them for their fighting spirits. So we'll see though if it is time to see that fighting spirit actually flare up, as we are gonna get into map number 3, and it's time to go into the escort map type, and it's time to get into Junkertown! I love that, Rebirth. I didn't expect you to whip that out, but hey, I liked it, and we are gonna roll with it. So Junkertown, hit scans are gonna be pretty useful, especially those snipers. And I'm not surprised Overwine picking up a map like this. But hey, seems like we are going to be getting ready to go for game number 3. And as Mr. Rebirth has said, Junkertown is going to be the town we are going to be going on. Interesting enough though, it's Team Cakes going back to the offensive side first, which means Override will go for the D instead, and the substitution gonna be in order. But hey, let's go back to Koala Express and see what takeaway we can actually get as we move into the Desert Sands and the Outback. Here we go again, map number 3 in this matchup.
So we can see that Nilavarial actually has been subbed out, and Wotash is subbing in for support.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's another thing to take note. So it's Wotash into the roster. Nilvarial gonna be like, hey, I gotta get ready for my halftime report, even though I'm not the one getting dragged on in. So what's Wotash right now gonna be looking to help things out along the way, and it's gonna be Anana here from Tash. As in the meantime, it's gonna be the Rhine and the Diva again here for Team Overwine. Very interesting that they are gonna play that Rhine Diva. They can potentially expect a flyer to come on in. But with the Diva right now, of course, you can actually block out snipers in the first place. Double hits can get again between Keltra, Odominichi, the Ashe, and the McCree, something they love playing. But what do you think though? The Ryan Diva right now, I think again, they should be whipping out the double barrier composition. But is it really just a matter of what they're used to here for Team Overwine?
I think Team Overwine's already used with the Ryan Diva composition actually. And look at the positioning of the two hit scans. It's really good since they have set up a crossfire. Hopefully that it will happen at the...
Mr. Rebirth, a wise man once said, to me, my X-Men. And Dominici and Keltrol are gonna be looking to set up that X and go for Trags immediately. Dynamite now connecting onto Alexei, but in the meantime for Team Cakes, they are gonna go for that Bastion. But I feel like for Team Overwine, they should be prepared for this a little more. If I remember correctly, they have been able to face off against the Bastion and gotten basically whipped by it. But right here, right now, it's Blackbeard keeping up with the pressure. Red Rose will actually catch up Blackrock there. They have to be very, very careful on the defensive side. Roxy Londe back into the fold. The Pharah here in Junkertown, very, very risky. But apparently it's working for Team Cakes as Overwine just steps into the line of sight of Bastion. It kind of hurts him in the long run, and there you go. Team Cakes is just going away with the tech ones available already, and within a minute they clear the corners, and they are gonna have the ultimate in hand. Boom, the cannon goes. Sleep Dart though will connect from Wotash. In the meantime, Overwine trying to play the cover game, and it's looking really awkward though for this defense as Blackbeard actually catches out the McCree. Seems like the action not stopping whatsoever. The Reinhardt right now gets into position, and then Anabu's gonna be there. Blackrock right now gonna go for the roll on and takes care of Red Rose along the way. I feel though is set. You have to get rid of that gadget immediately for the Reinhardt, and Blackbeard with enough bullets to get the takedown. Here comes Cakes right now getting the covering fire, and they should have the momentum to get this point.
It's really unfortunate that Overwine still flunders in the succeeding attacks. They already had a nice initial pick, but failed to get your succeeding kills after.
Yeah, it's really sad, especially when you're playing that Bastion. All you gotta do is get a pick off, not allow that Bastion to set up on that payload, and then you are good to go for the punish at any point in time. And now as we move into the second part of Junkertown, honestly, Rox and Londa are gonna have an easier time in its layout. Hiding onto the U, able to take a rest on the windows onto the second floor. And this Pharah, even though it's still gonna be a risky pick, it's gonna pan out as Kundak and Keltro will both go down. Blackrock now seeing the Pharah, and will get the rare pin onto the flyer. Alexei though staying on the Mercy. X-Fatal is going to be on that, but CC has done so much already with the I feel earlier on. And honestly, for teams such as Overwine, I feel like they kind of forget to take care of the Frisbee immediately. But as we say that, Blackrock right now look to work out with the Shatter. Again, the I feel is set immediately by X-Fatalist. And this, just the utility right now for Cakes working out in their favor so well.
There was really a lot of miscommunications, I believe, for Team Overwine. You can see that they're kind of staggering at one point, and the res was not denied, especially when Blackrock was literally just beside the soul, or whatever you call that spirit thing.
The spirit thing is that what we call it? Basically the lingering will, if you may.
Yes.
Oh man, I haven't linger. Listen, King of Hearts, right? It's
Yeah, that's some Kingdom Hearts stuff right there.
That's a King of Hearts stuff right there. It's a fancy turned up Guinness right now with the self-destruct, and he will actually catch up Blackbeard because of the flux. It's kind of funny because for Team Cakes, they go for the disable with the Gravitic Flux. And since the bomb was tossed out, it kind of was just like the team was just watching that bomb happen and just get rid of one. Here comes Bob though, thrown into the back line. But with the Ryan Sigma right now for Team Cakes, I like this a lot, honestly. They have learned a little bit from what we've been saying here in the chat. And the Ryan Sigma working so much better for them. They want to protect that Pharah, they want to play that Bastion, and with the Ryan Sigma, they are going to have a little bit of that range to actually go for some accretions and get a little bit of value. Still though, I am a big fan of the Oasis Sigma, but this works too. This works truly too.
I'm always just relying on the Oasis Sigma because because of the recent nerfs, according to the shield, the Ryan Sigma is really still good because you have more shield AP.
Yeah, you have that shield HP, honestly, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, we can debate about that all we like, but we are seeing a little bit of different flavor here from the new Invitational. Huge EMP, though, from Dominici. Nano boosted up as well. You don't really see that Sombra get the Nano boost too often, because Rox in London instead gonna go for Rock Brush, still will be able to get 3. Now, Overwine with a good execution on the EMP, but a little piss poor at the follow-up. If this wasn't their damage there, just not gonna be enough from the Sombra itself. And you can see Dominici was looking really awkward there. He was like, I don't want to be in the front line, but you Nano boosted me, so I'm gonna go for the shots instead. Last potential contest right now from Blackrock. Beautiful pin there from Red Rose, and Team Cakes will be able to finish up the map with 3:34 on the clock.
Yes, that was kind of unfortunate, especially since Overwine had like the ultimates that is like a easy cleanup for Team Cakes. You already have the bomb, you already have the EMP, you have to use it together, not separately.
Truly is. It's kind of a little finicky there, but even though they did use the bomb, I just wanted to see a little more execution there with the EMP because that was already so clutch. Gaining 5 like that,
Yeah.
especially against Bastion comp, you can get a really good shutdown, but unfortunately, not the best stand-up boost target, a little awkward. You can really see Dominic like, I really don't want to be here, guys. It's
So
like when you bring
awkward.
an introvert. You bring an introvert to a party and he's not happy about it. He's not, I'm not gonna drink, I'm not gonna go dancing, I'm not gonna interact with anyone, I just want to go home and play video games. And that was what the Sombra was all about there. If the Sombra wasn't there in the front line, he could have translocated away, and he could have potentially hacked the Farah going for the barrage, because that was such a backline barrage there from Rox and Londe. So it really goes to show for Team Overwine, they have this understanding, sure, of some hero picks and looking to get a little better. But in terms of situations, in terms of just being in the heat of the moment, they kind of need to learn a little more in that regard. So we'll see though if this Bastion push will work out for them. They want to play that Pirate Ship and they're going to play the Ryan Orisa instead. Now I like this a lot better than Ryan Sigma in a way, because it does fortify you very, very heavily. You can also go for the hold hammers or go for the hold shenanigans. But Blackbeard right now getting the angle takes care of Kunda. It doesn't matter if there's 2 shields apparently, because if they're not set up right, it will lead to the takedown. Hold gonna be there though, almost getting the kill. Dominici right now hanging on back. And honestly here for Team Overwine, it feels like it's a 6v4 scenario right now in terms of the offense, in terms of defense rather, having the advantage. 3 frags on the board already, and this push stopped immediately in its tracks.
Actually, the lineup that Overwine was trying to pull off was that maybe the Sombra will be the one scouting and giving info to the team so that the Orisa can not halt hope, sorry, just halt them down out of position and possibly giving the Bastion free reign.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you also want that Orisa. Hold is so good with the Bastion in so many ways. But by this point in time for Overwine, they are going to have Dominici translocating on the way after a little bit of that hack efforts. Caldwell in the meantime though, going to be looking for the shots. But the rocket frost from Roxon Londe, he's going to get bubbled. He's getting protected by the barrier. But honestly, it's not the most effective barrage. They're only taking care of one. Dive on in ready from Guinness, trying to get the damage done. Blackbeard will take care of Caldwell along the way. Infosight now is available here for Team Cakes. And we'll see if it is going to be enough. I love the flank though. I love the angle here from Blackbeard. Moving on around to the gates, to the shillings, to the ramparts right here, right now. And Overwine forced to retreat yet again.
Hide from my sight.
You know, there's always this one ult that will never stop listening for this match, I think. Justice reigns from above.
Justice truly reigns from above. That Farah is looking nigh unstoppable here. And for Team Cakes, I feel like they're just exploiting the fact that they are facing off against Overwine and they are looking to just impose whatever kind of advantage that they can get with the Rocketeer itself. And just, you know, though, it's Blackbeard on that window still. I honestly would have expected them to play the Echo a little more in this series, but in a map like this in Junkertown, you want to run that sniper, especially using those sidelines to begin with. Shots now keeping on coming. Bubble gonna be there. Guinness gonna be right beside him. Blackrock though with a shatter, but Stereo gets the block on instead. Now the Mercy quite low. Alexseed will get a fist full of the hammer, and Blackrock just pushing on forward. It seems like Dominici enough of the setup there, leading to some kills. Overwine though needs to respect, basically hate Cesario behind here, guys. Please help me. Red Rose now will go down, and this first point will be taken by Team Overwine.
See what was happening in the backline. I think Tash and Red Rose are having a ring around the rosy moment right.
Yeah, really just goes to show how things work sometimes. And here we go yet again. We are gonna be looking to see how everything is gonna unfold. EMP gonna be online right here, right now for Dominici. And we'll see if it is gonna be very, very effective onto the second floor. Really danger close though. A translocate that close to the opponents. I'm not feeling this right now. It's so risky. Look at that. And Guinness, as well as saying, Guinness and Dominici are both dependent on that one health back. And they're like, my turn, your turn, your turn. Who's gonna be able to get the heals there? But Blackbeard right now, beautiful EMP into the bomb this time. Will actually need some kills. Oh no, it lands behind the van. Just trajectory there, not enough. And Team Overwine. Oh my god, double DCs on both sides. Red Rose, Graviton Surge gonna get eaten. And really interesting that both teams. Oh no, Rebirth loses connection too. Everyone is dying. Everyone is dying. Oh no.
They all die. Oh no.
Oh no.
Hey,
Not gonna lie,
at
it's pretty
least
funny. Both Stereo and Guinness both dying. So one team each losing a member. It's like very interesting to see, honestly.
Guinness used his bomb already, so it won't be a big heartbreak. And also he also ate a grab, so kudos to Guinness for
Yeah,
that
I know.
DC. The
Yeah,
sacrificial D.
but Mr. Rebirth, I just wanna say, reset stats are reset.
Oh no.
Oh no, indeed.
Oh no.
Oh, you know what? You forgot to remind me to change the no the thing, the scoreboard. Come
Oh
on, Rebirth.
right.
Come on, Rebirth.
Oh
Remind me.
no.
Rebirth. Remind me. Okay. Exclamation point. Remind me. Rebirth. Change the scoreboard.
Okay.
R.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I
Thank
type
you,
it
mate.
here. I type.
You okay? Remind me after this game. Okay. Let's get back into the action, and it is again Team Overwine on the there we go, guys. We are back into the fold, and immediately action starts off with Roxanne there.
Oh
And
no.
oh no, what's happening? Autopause. Oh no,
So
oh no. You know, the Black Eyed Peas once said people killing, people dying. The server is killing everyone for some real reason, and it has to be heartbreaking here. For Team Overwine, they lose Keltral. They didn't have the bomb available.
think so. I haven't
Uh,
seen the box.
or was
It
what
was
was
at
going on
86.
there?
It was at 86, I believe.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, but yeah, that kind of hurts. That kind of hurts. Not gonna lie. So I'll take this as an opportunity to go back on my screen, and I can actually fix. I can fix a preset revert. I can do it. I can do it right now. I'm so smart. I'm so smart. I'm so smart. But you know,
Yes.
let's talk about the game while I'm fixing a few things, and now as we are looking to get our reconnection on. What do you think right now? What is the plan here for Team Overwine? They do have the components sometimes to have the proper success. They have the right ideas, but in execution, it kind of falls flat. What's up with this?
Well, I'm gonna say like some of the things I usually tell them also. Well, one of their main problems is communication. Like they have the right ideas for all of them. They know how to play the game in a certain extent already, and they all make these creative ideas to get team kills. But one, they're usually too slow to react onto it. And let's say if they execute it or initiate already, they can't really follow up with the succeeding kills after the first kill.
That's true. That's true, and it just needs to be sometimes wherein you have to execute. You have to really play the idea right. It's kind of obvious to say, but even if you have the proper parts of the equation, if you don't really have the proper solution to it, it's not gonna happen, right? Some good EMPs there from Dominici, but the follow up, yeah, that kind of hurts.
That
Kind of hurts to see, you know.
yeah.
And it's a little bit of a trying time for Dominici. You can see he's on that Sombra and he's not too well versed in it per se, especially when he's forced to look for that EMP charge. The angles he's taking aren't as clean as would be, but at least when he's in position, he gets some really proper hacks.
Yeah, that's true. That was some really good hacks actually.
Yeah, honestly, it's pretty impressive. So honestly, guys, we will take a little break and figure out what's gonna be going here for Keltral because yeah, we are looking for updates here from the side of Orwine, and hopefully it doesn't lead to a full DC. So we will be right back. It has been a trying time here in this match between Overwine and Cakes, but Cakes with a 2-0 lead. We haven't really even said though that they are on match point. If they take this, then they are basically gonna have the match under their favor. We will still do those 4 maps as much as possible. Stick around. This is the New Wave Invitationals. So welcome back, guys. It has been a technical trying time here between our two teams, but we are basically gonna be looking to get into the action in just a bit yet again. So apparently for Keltrol, it was not the death DC, it was the blue screen of death, and that's hurt. That has to hurt there. But for Overwine, they are still looking to get this push going. They do have 3 minutes on the time bank. 3:34 on the other side though in terms of their time back for Cakes. And what do you think? Can Overwine actually get the full cap here and force a second round of action?
Yes, anything is possible in this game. Heck, even a 1 minute push can still push all the way to third point.
That's true. That's true. It's just like I just wanna casually push all the way. I just wanna casually get that overtime, never go down. And it seems like we are ready to go. Let's get back into the action, guys. I know you guys have been taking a while, been waiting a while, but honestly, I could just say that this game is worth it. These teams are worth it, and let's go back into the action.
Clear skies, full hearts.
So here we go yet again. Where are we? This is Overwatch. What is this game? We'll see what this is all about. As Roxas London will be able to get rid of Blackrock immediately. That poor Reinhardt is like, please kill me so we can go for a reset. And oh, it's time for the Echo. Dominici gonna whip it out. And I love this pick because Dominici can really shut down both the DPS and this apartment. You'd be surprised, honestly. You think Widow can deal with Echo, but Echo can do so much. If you're scoped in too long, you get the sticky mouse to connect, focus beam with the dash in, and the flyer will just fly onto you and get that shutdown. It really is going to be that range only. Go in favor of Blackbeard, but an angle here on the second point, I think Dominici might have the edge.
Yeah, compared to the Sombra pick, there's really not many people you can hack, per se. Like, it's gonna be a valuable hack. Unlike Echo, who can just secretly flank you and assassinate.
Yeah, speaking of the assassination, oh, Blackbeard right now! They have seen the souls, you have seen the stories of the Seven Seas, but you have not seen the story of Blackbeard right now. A captain of his own ship, gained 3 kills, and Overwine beaten back by the efforts of the sniper. Really well done there to Blackbeard. We've said it here on the second point of Junkertown. It isn't as good as the first, but he's taking the angle there onto the U, and it is very effective because Team Cakes is protecting that sniper at all costs.
I think for what Overwine should do was maybe engage first. Not with the Diva, like what's happening right now, but maybe with the Echo. Trying to get to a good position to flank the Widow or the Farah.
Speed kills indeed, and Roxas London right now looking for a broad opportunity, but Blackbeard actually shotting out Dominici yet again. What a shot here from the Widowmaker. And you've said it yourself, this guy is really potent on that hit scan. And Team Cakes looking for the shutdown right here, right now. Blackrock though pushing on forward immediately. Roxas London in position to make that barrage happen again. And Cakes is just gonna make it rain one more time. Wotash taking brunt of the damage. That's so unfortunate though to Diana, but I don't think that's the best barrage there. Guinness just dives on in, gets that shutdown, but Blackbeard apparently paying attention, and we'll get the headshot onto one. Make that 2 clicking heads, getting those tags, and Team Cakes right now with a cherry on top of all of that. Ridiculous stuff from Blackbeard. He is just feeling it and more. He has made Junkertown his bitch, and he is just the king of his own ship right here, right now. Dominici though, forcing Blackbeard to retreat. Didn't get the focus beam in time, unfortunately. But beyond all of this, Overwine still gonna have one last opportunity, and they are gonna run the dive to try and do so.
They should really take this opportunity already by the fact that Blackrock was kind of out of position, really aggressive by the window.
We'll see how this is gonna pan out. Roxy gonna be making it rain already. Team Cakes looking to retreat as much as possible, but here comes Terry right now with the Flux. Scarfton Surge though, the self-destruct rather, gonna be into play, and C9! Oh, that hurts. That hurts.
Oh no,
That hurts.
C9.
Yeah, that hurts. You can feel the pain. You can feel the pain there. My heart kind of dropped. I saw the self-destruct now as a Graviton for some reason, but you see the Winston and Diva onto the high ground. There's just no one contesting. And Blackbeard, he was the dungeon defender of that one, that's for sure. Cakes now does take the match. We will still go for a last one, but Overwine, I feel like they gotta take a breather after that one. I gotta take a breather after that one.
Epic. Par excellence.
You know, there are funny C9s and there are painful ones, and that was a painful one.
it was double the pain for me.
Your true colors are showing, Rebirth, and ah, okay. So let's reel it back real quick. Talk about how that game unfolded, and well, I just want to say though, for Team Cakes, very well done. They just had so much of the shutdown. They had the snowball effect on the offense. And kudos to Blackbeard there on that second point. He was doing absolutely everything and more to basically single-handedly defend for his team.
Yeah, but you can see the hard pocket onto Blackbeard as well. And you can also see that just based on the play of the game, Overwine wasn't really able to utilize the shield very well or the environment. They all just, walked to the sideline of the Widow.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And that's how it is sometimes, Mr. Rebirth. As of the moment, it seems like okay, we are gonna take a little break real quick. I'll fix the lobby and also because we'll give Overwine a little bit of time. Just a little bit of time to get back into this one. Just like the short 2-minute break, we'll be right back, guys. I need a pep talk after that one, Mr. Rebirth. That's for sure.
Well,
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We took a little breather, we updated lobby, and we are gonna be good to go to get into game number 4. And that one, Mr. Rebirth, will be Hanamura. So what do you think about Hanamura? Gonna be an interesting time in that map.
well, my thoughts of Hanamura, the Draw Namura. Always the best map to draw.
Are you? It really is. There is just that potential to do so. But before we get into talking about the map and look at that map recap so far, we got one more point of action to talk about, and that will be the support line for these two teams. So for Overwine, we have seen Kundak and Nilvario play on earlier on, especially from Nilvario's side being at that starting 6. And we have seen her really top the charts for her team with 8.143 average healing in that department. In the meantime, Kundak more on looking to just do a little more for the team in terms of utility, especially that hard pocket, especially with using the damage boost a lot. And it's only at the 4.7 range. In the meantime, though, for Cakes, well, Alex Seed, he is ridiculous sometimes with how he get that healing done. 11,373.37 with 6.91 average eliminations, really focusing on going for the top up. On the other hand, X-Fatalist, the Bio Grenade Master himself with 7.916 average healing and 9.25 average elimination. So what do you think about these support lines? We have seen their progress, we have seen them do the things that need to be done, especially with the sustain. And I just gotta ask, what do you think are like the best kind of support duos for each of these two teams?
Okay. So as a support, well, you're gonna have to see what your intentions are. Like, you can't always be the healing bot that you have, you know, that is like on paper. But there are some heroes, let's say Bap or Zen, that will also focus on the damage. You can't just primarily heal. So for Overwine, well, since it's Tash right now, and I think Tash plays Ana, while Kondak plays either Moira, Mercy, those heroes. So I think the best duo support line for Tash and Kondak will most likely be an Ana and Mercy. That is a standard support line. As for Cakes, though, Olexseed and X Fatalist, we already know X Fatalist is such a good Ana player, and Olexseed will just be there to support X Fatalist with the co-support. So I think Olexseed will most likely play Mercy as well.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. And we are going to be getting into our maps in just a bit. And there you go, Hanamura has been confirmed and sides have been selected. But Cakes have already won this match, and we are going to see if Overwine can do their usual standard, get a map out of nowhere and really surprise their opponent. Now, I just want to say, guys, that don't go away after this match. We will still have a second map, and a second match rather, which will be Team Wamanagi versus Uba server. And that is one you don't want to miss whatsoever. But it seems like we are going to be getting ready to go into the action one last time. Here for Team Overwine and here for Team Cakes. It's Cakes going to be on the defense this time. It's Overwine on the attack. And we'll see how this is all going to pan out for map number 4 out of 4. Let's get it on. Let's get it done, Mr. Rebirth, and let's get into the game. Hanamura, or as you say, it's Hanamura. It's a beautiful map. You got those cherry blossoms floating into the wind. But we'll see, though, who's going to be the schoolgirl here into this one, as this is the new Wave Invitationals.
Initiating match.
Man, look at that sunshine. I miss the sunshine already.
It's a sunshine day, but scoreboard 7.1, we have done it, Mr. Calderon, after multiple situations, after multiple matches, and well, after everything, we say goodbye to scoreboard 6.0. We are updated right here, right now, to the next one on the list. And we'll see. You know, there are a few additions, honestly. I do want to say that will show up in just a bit. You guys will be surprised what information will happen here. Will be shown in the new Wave Invitationals. And, you know, press interact to jump to toggle scoreboard on and off. Daks, can you pause? Seems like doesn't change Wi-Fi. I know, right? I think I turned that off for players. Just didn't get rid of the notif so far. Yes, sir. I can actually turn it off and on. You know, if you guys don't know, you can actually turn it off and on. It's just there. Up on top. It's just how it works. So, it seems like, again, though, we will have one more technical issue. This game, guys, has been technical issues about. It really is the Philippine scene in question. And that's why sometimes, you know, things don't pick up in the Philippine scene when there are too many network issues with the game.
Sad reacts there. At least
Yeah.
it didn't happen for the first two matches.
Yeah, at least we were expecting more DCs there from Overwine, but it only happened like on Junkertown. So yeah, that's good. Kudos to them, truly. Kudos to at least everything setting up, and it seems like we are back into the action. And yeah, let's go back into the game.
Attackers incoming.
So here we go again, ladies and gentlemen. One last bout between Team Cakes as well as Team Overwine. For some reason, though, they're also called Cakes into. Okay, Mr. Calderon. Why are they both Cakes? I like version 6 already. Version 6. Version
What?
6. Where are you? Where are you? Okay, so you know we're doing a test run. We're doing a hardcore test run for Mr. Calderon. We are doing it live, and already we can see. This is why you don't change things that are great. But hey, anyway, we are getting into the action into another game right here, right now, ladies and gents. I'll look at the workshop code again also. But for now, it's Roxy London playing that Clara. Gonna float on around. I'll see the mid side. Going for the top up here for Team Cakes. But whoa, what an execution there from Team Overwine. They are just gonna go for jump on in, but immediately their dive getting torn apart at the seams. And they are playing dive right here, right now with the Winston Diva. Gonna be double flyers as well. But they are playing a very substandard Lucia Mercy pairing. And we have said this so many times on how terrible, honestly, the support duo is.
Okay, it really is.
It really is. Is that all you gotta say about that?
Yes, because it also breaks my heart that I sometimes have to see this, but if it works, it works.
But
Because sometimes Lucian Mercy, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, Lucian Mercy works usually in some compositions, but not in a 2 CP map. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's so difficult. You need that sustain. You need to make sure your people are going to survive. Where every life matters in so many ways. Rox and Londell going to be backing on that already. Team Cakes looking to hold on to the objective, but Keldrol and Dominici is looking at the Pharah and the Echo. And there we go with the Shatter from Stereo. That was now going to be in hand for one trade so far. Stereo now making that bell clang yet again. And seems like for Team Cakes, he can rely on the Reinhardt to do everything and more. Frags on the board here and there. Seems like it is going to be on fire right now. Stat is going to get shown. And Team Cakes even whipping out that ass, Blackbeard gets two, and they are going to be looking good into this defense.
Wow, look at that. Flares added in the scoreboards. Impressive.
Impressive, but you know what isn't impressive? The team name, right? The team name. Kinda triggers it, not gonna lie. But you know what is gonna be triggering here? It will be Roxy London looking to just go for the bang bang, pull his double trigger, and pull his double finger as that barrage is in hand and has just been such a good component of her offense. Here comes Roxy London right now, making it rain one more time. Guinness and Blackrock will go down in one fell swoop. The tank line just getting blown up to bits yet again. And you can see this might be World War III. The missiles are banned from one arsenal, from one hero, and that is the Pharah.
So, I actually like the lineup of Overwine right now. I don't think they just have the proper setup to actually initiate with. Like, we just see the double flyer poking from choke, but we don't see them, like, taking, let's say, the left side or, setting up crossfire.
There you go with Blackrock now, gonna get caught in the middle, Stair getting on the board, and here comes Roxalonde, shutting down Keltrell, going for the desperate barrage, and Team Kicks has had Overwine's number. That's all I can really say for certain. They have just shut down every little bit that Overwine wants to bring to the table, and it's just really impressive, not gonna lie. I do want to commend them. It seems like they have done their homework and more, and they have really shown a really good understanding of their opponents.
Kudos still to Roxy Lalone, yes. The Pharah player who is really getting these barrages on time and stopping the push, like, immediately.
So it's gonna be into play Overwine right now, gonna be looking to hold the line. Nanabuso on the Stereo was the saving grace earlier on, and it seems like it is enough to scare Guinness off yet again. No world records for that one. He's not gonna last too long against the Nano Ryan. And well, Keldra thinking a nap will go for a duel against X Fatalist. Fred Rose though pointing on up, beautiful tracking there. And this is just Team Cakes knowing everything. Oh, won't dash! Gets resurrected, just drops down. They go for the reset, but there's no time like the present, and they are running out of time. Dominici though will get one all the way on the other side, but Bob is here. He is the bouncer. He is the gatekeeper, and no one on Overwine can touch a full hold for Team Cakes, to say the least. And they are just looking for the clean sweep here, Mr. Rebirth.
Definitely are. It was really good for Cakes to, like, completely hold on to the choke. Roxy alone was actually playing in sidelines where Team Cakes can see her or see the Pharah, but Team Overwine cannot. So it's really hard to get the pick onto that Pharah if you're playing through the.
Really goes to show, just having those sidelines so important. Vision is so essential, especially when dealing with the far to begin with, and it really hurts sometimes to see how all of that just falls apart in the first place. Anyway though, can Overwine defend this? They are not playing for the win anymore, they're playing for the draw. They can prevent Cakes from getting that W on the board, but it will still be a tough task, a tough tell, because it is just one tick to give in the first place. Red Rose and Stereo though gonna be playing that dive composition, looking to make things work in the first place. Blackbeard right now on the Widowmaker, and it seems like Rebirth they're looking to surprise their opponent yet again with a very quick execution with dive.
Yes, they are. It's gonna be really tricky though if they're gonna play a dive. If Overwatch is able to take this opportunity and just go aggro with them playing dive before even the choke point or at the choke point, then I think Team Cakes might have to switch.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they do have to do so. But for Overwine, at least they are gonna be looking to try and defend as much as possible and look to get things done along the way. Anyway, though, it is gonna be Guinness right now with a few right clicks here and there. Dominici cleaning up rocks in Alonde with a good catch there immediately. And just that McCree finding that sideline into the first place. Roxy right now brought back to life. Team Cakes right now going for the jump. And here we go with the execution onto the McCree. Target has been confirmed. Lock on with the Tesla cannon. Roxy and Londa gonna get that kill instead. Keltron though with the Gabigail of the Blackbeard. It has a good pickup. Taking rid of the Widowmaker means there is no long range damage, and that is Keltron right now will be able to get through. Helix Rockets completely on point. Red Rose though leaping on forward yet again. The Ryan and the Zarya holding the line, and Team Overwine forced to play by the point, and it's working out in their favor. They're slowing down the offense. Red Rose saying enough is enough, goes for disengage, and Team Cakes beaten back by Team Overwine.
Was kind of risky, honestly, for the two dive tanks of Team Cake to try to push them through the entrance of the shrine, the bell shrine. Yeah, I don't know if it's called.
The big bong big
Bong.
bibbidi bam
Yes.
bing bong bellow. I don't know. I just made words up there, but it is like one of those bells for temples, right? And it's a good announcement of a lot of things. It's an alarm. It's time for meditation, that kind of thing. And you know, in a Zen garden, you just gotta have that peace and tranquility that is non-existent here in Overwatch, because Dominici just gonna be staining by the blood of Diana. That is just gonna be a good takedown there from the McCree. Seems like for Team Overmind, they are playing that cross check advantage again, using the range, using the crossfire as much as possible between the Solar 76 and the McCree.
You see that the Team Cake is hiding in this one little area here, and I think Team Overwatch should be there.
Casino Blackbeard right now going for some flight lights. Initiation in on point, but Voltash gets to sleep but immediately gets woken up by the rest of the team, and that has to hurt. That is such a good shutdown already. Blackrock though with the shatter, Nano boost up. It's still not gonna be enough. Grab the surge gonna be there. Team Cakes with the execution with a dive. A little help there from Override to just save the day yet again. Self-destruct right now to try and bust down through Guinness, but the Zarya all alone will fall in the field of battle. Can anyone else actually get a touch here for Team Overwine? It's not gonna happen. Cakes with the first tick, and they will take the victory.
That was a really good push by, I think, even if, you know, Team Overwhelm was kind of prepared for it.
Play of the game.
Yeah, it just goes to show. It was just Team Overwine trying their best, looking to use what they have learned throughout their experience. But in the end, it's just not enough as Cakes brings out a different flavor. And this is going to be Rox and London doing so much work overall. Kudos to Team Cakes. They will take a clean sweep of this match. And that is going to be our first set done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. Hanamura going in favor of Team Cakes with a 1-0. Well played indeed. Winning out the whole set right here, right now. And Mr. Rebirth, you know, some thoughts before we take a break to get set up for our post game.
Even if Overwhelm has, well, did not win a single map, you can still see that they have improved compared from the very first match they've ever had. As for Team Cakes, you can see also that their DPS lineup is really, really, really up there, and that's the team is just supporting them really well, also giving them enough.
That's true. That's true. And we will be right back, ladies and gentlemen. This is New Invitationals, Overwine and Cakes. Gonna be one out by Cakes 4-0. Stay tuned, stick around. We'll be right back for our interview with a member from Team Cakes. So welcome
Uh,
back, ladies and gentlemen, and we got Stereo here, who's a little jumping the gun, but this guy is just so excited to basically tell us the story of Team Cakes. But first things first, Stereo, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine. Quite happy that we won.
Yeah, big congratulations for basically getting that 4-0 sweep. But I do want to talk to you real quick. What is up with Team Cakes? You guys have swap roles in so many lanes and so many times. Seeing you moving around from support, from tank, that kind of thing. Roxy on DPS this time. Red Rose doing the same thing. Sometimes on tank, sometimes on support. Like, what gives? What's the story of Team Cakes right now?
Um, uh, uh, as you all know, we were kind of in a losing streak against the other team, and we've been kind of experimenting with our practice matches with meme card, and we thought about having me in tank instead of support and Roxy on DPS. So and that kind of worked against the practice match against meme card.
That's interesting. And like Roxy showing up with the Farah, getting a lot of things going. And it is also interesting sometimes you're moving around with Red Rose. So how does that work? When do you play tank? Where does Red Rose play tank when Roxy's on the tank role? Because seeing Roxy right now on DPS with the Shiver Band, it kind of makes sense that way. Or is this gonna be a permanent setup? So what's gonna be the plan here? Like I do want to ask you though, when are you feeling the swap, when do you guys feel that you need to swap out in terms of your position?
Oh, Red Rose and I kind of made an agreement if we're going to play dive, I'm going to tank and he'll play support, and if we go find Zarya, he's going to tank. So yeah.
Yeah, that's understandable. So Stereo, I do want to ask you guys, what is the plan moving into the future of Team Cakes? You still got some matches. You guys are the ones catching up with the rest of the crew here in the New Wave Invitational. So are you guys going to be able to handle any match that is going to be in front of you?
We'll at least try.
Yeah, you gotta commend a guy like that. Straight to the point again. A little shy on this regard,
Yeah.
but it really is. It makes a lot of sense. It seems like the agreements are in order for Team Cakes to figure out how their roster is going to be. How about you, Rebirth? Though, you have any question for Stereo?
Not at the moment, actually. Just want to comment. You guys were really putting a good effort there, and what you guys pulled off today, it already shows that your scrim is really helping.
Thank you.
Congratulations, guys. So, floor is all yours, Stereo. Any shout outs before we wrap things up for Cakes and Overwine?
Shout out of course to our momager Maui Cakes for helping us, and our team leader who's she's helped us a lot with strats. Also, same with our vice captain who's Shiver, also helping us with our lineup and stuff like that. Also coaching us.
I love it. I love it. You guys are so independent. You guys have the whole community already behind you, and congratulations for getting that match when you guys needed it, and you guys won it in such a good fashion. So thank you, Stereo. It's time to move you back to your
Thank
channel, and we
you.
are gonna be looking to wrap things up on our side. So Rebirths, we got a 4-0 victory. Quick little recap of our results. Oasis, Kings Road, Junkertown, Hanamura all gonna get win out by one out rather by Team Cakes. 2-0 on Oasis, 1-0 on Kings Road, Junkertown 3-1, and Hanamura a 1-0 as well. Very surprising 1-0s actually on Kings Road and Hanamura. What do you think?
I think they were just falling, like they were confused with the information that they've been given. Maybe in the future, it's better that they would have things clarified also with each other. There will be no more miscommunication. And if that happens, then I think they will have a better scoreline.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So yeah, kudos to every single person right now into the New Wave Invitationals. But hey, 4-0 is a 4-0, and that will help out Team Cakes in so many ways. And it's gonna be a little difficult, honestly, for Team Overwine because they have gotten a lot of matches already under their belts as we move into the standings real quick. So for Team Cakes, they are gonna be tied with Uber Server right now on the 2-3, tied for 5th place, without map differential, of course. And then for Overwine, all the way down below with the 0-6 score line. And the problem there is they only have one opponent left, and chances for that one might be really slim to say the least to take that victory.
And you know what they say? It's better if you improve
Yeah, it is.
rather
It's not
than
rather than what.
I. There's it's better that you will learn something
Mhm.
rather than just focus.
That's true. You just don't focus on those results. Make sure that you have that self improvement. And hey, this is only regular season, guy. Everything will boil down to the playoff picture still, so it doesn't really matter regardless. So we'll find out when we'll see how that's gonna unfold in the future. But right now, we are not done yet with today's coverage. It is potentially gonna be a long night here and now for the new Invitationals because we still have one match coming your way, and it's gonna be Wamanagi versus Ubi Server. Seems like after those technical issues, it did hurt the time a little bit. So we'll be looking to work really quickly, get the people into the lobby, and we will be right back. Stay tuned, stick around. We still have a second match going on, but this is the New Wave Invitationals.